Welcome to Section 31, episode number 273. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I'm Rogue Schindler.
This week, we will discuss tribbles. We're going to talk about tribbles. We don't have much else to talk about, just tribbles.
Because tribbles.
Next week is going to be we are prepping for Gen Con episode. I think that both of us are flying out the next night. So we will chat all about Gen Con on Monday of next week and all the things that we're packing and taking with us. I don't think we have much else. There was no tournament locally. I've actually been playing a lot more Magic than anything else, which is kind of oddball. When I came home from Origins, I had bought a box of dragons with a card that I realized was worth a lot of money. And you just walked into Disneyland.
Yes.
And so Charlie and Matt came over and we played Magic with something called Pack Wars. Have you ever heard of this?
No, I've not.
All right, each person gets a pack, right? And
not 2-pack?
No, not 2-pack. 1 pack, and then 3 of each land. So you get 15 lands, and you get the 15 cards in your pack. And you open it up, you shuffle it together, and you play. And that's it.
Oh my God!
You don't know what's going to draw
fast.
Next. Yeah, it's over pretty quick. You don't know what you're going to draw next, and it's did I win? And you draw, and because when you sleeve the cards, you don't look at them. So it was a lot of fun. I think I won at least one game every day, and I think we played. I think we had 2 sessions with that box, and then Charlie went, and the next set that came out is kind of like their base set, so it's got a lot of basic cards. Charlie bought a box, so it's called Origins, Magic Origins, and we played that last weekend. We're probably going to do it again this weekend. It's just fun, kind of. I don't want to say mindless, but it's nice to play cards and open packs, because I haven't opened packs in a long time. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I just recently got back into the My Little Pony card game, which I was in and out of, but they're having a pre-release next month, and I just arranged with a local local game shop to host a pre-release there. And hopefully maybe try to get some going. And it was a lot of fun. I got some cheap cards online a few weeks ago, and it's been nice to also open packs again.
Crack open packs and look at your checklist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Very good. Let's talk about a new set that's coming out, and that is the Tribble set. Do we have a name for it? I think we do.
Tribbles Royale.
Tribbles Royale. That's right.
If you click on the little icon there,
yeah.
And I believe it was in the article as well.
Yeah, that should be fun. And the article described the new mechanic with the Troubles,
which is nice.
Yes,
I like the callback to the original Trouble with Tribbles set.
I want to say that there was a game I was playing back when we were doing like Resistance is Futile and Shades of Grey, and that was every time we do the Q&A, someone would ask, "Did you make Art do a new card template?" And one of the cards I ended up cutting every time was a Trouble card, because I always wanted to make, that was one of the last templates that we haven't made Art do, and here we are. We got Trouble templates. So, yeah. So, what do you think about the mechanic itself? Kind of sit on the side and.
I have mixed feelings. I like it. My knee-jerk reaction is positive, because there are some interesting things that I think will help speed up the game, which has been kind of an issue occasionally. You have the death round and you get to keep playing numbers. However, I'm mildly concerned about it slowing down the game, because every time you play a card, or anyone plays a card, you have to stop and verify it with the Trouble.
Did you play the right number? Did you miss on the right number? Or
yeah. Did you play the right power?
Yeah.
Do I want to negate it bad enough to draw cards or lose points?
Mm-hmm. I would hope that, and this would be something that I will do as a player. When the turn is about to come to you, you should be, you got a pretty good idea of what you're going to play usually, unless someone's going nuts, playing Rescue or something, or Replay. It comes to you, it's 15 go, or 15 really, it's 10 go, and that is what I'm going to play. I can see what Trouble's out there. I should be looking ahead and saying, I'll play this, and it has no effect, next person.
Right.
But you're right. I think especially the first couple rounds, when we're all rereading what On the Bridge does.
Yeah.
Each player starts the round with one less card in his or her hand, minimum one. Awesome. I like that it had to put minimum one on there just in case we put enough
Time warps.
time warps in so that you get all of them out and then you don't go out and then you're starting with one. All right. That's a great shot of the bridge, of the Voyager bridge. And
Yeah.
there's a Tribble in the captain's chair. Is that the no? There's a Tribble. There's a Tribble in some chair. Is that the first officer's chair? I don't know. Anyway, nice shot.
Yes, that's Chakotay's chair.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I think it will be. You know, I will say that the side deck has been something that we've been working on for years.
In various forms.
Various forms. I think the first time we threw it out, it was a pile of face down cards, and every time someone missed because they couldn't play, they had to draw. You hit a counter, and when the counter counted down to 0, the triple bomb went off, and you flipped something over, and something happened.
Right.
That altered the game. And then it went to something else where it was always showing, and it would interact with how the game was being played differently than this, and then it evolved into this. This was Charlie's revision to the thing that was started. I mean, years ago, really years ago. Like we're talking first set, second set of tribbles years ago. Probably,
I definitely remember the different color bombs.
That's right. Those are still in the design file. I still like that. Yeah, that was like Trials and Tribulations from 2011. So
yeah
4 years of work. I hope they work out. It should be entertaining. And from what it looks like, all the tribbles tournaments, the 10 o'clock tribbles tournaments at Gen Con, we're using the tribble set, even though it's not really legal until Friday. We're going to make people use them.
We will make it legal.
Yes, we will make it legal because that's what we do.
Yeah. Well, so here's my next question associated with this, since you are the expert. According to the OP Guide article, this is not a permanent, a required part of the game now.
It
made it sound like you can now have a sanctioned tournament either way, either standard or with trouble.
Yes.
How do you feel like that's going to? I mean, obviously the tribbles OP scene is not high on the list of something. Like, is Worlds going to be with troubles, or will Continentals be with troubles?
I'm told that Continentals will not be with tribbles, mostly because it's releasing and legal the day before Continentals or 2 days before Continentals. So that probably is not the best thing to throw at people. But I would imagine, since it's in the hands of the tournament director, whoever's running the show is going to make the call before they set things up. Either everyone's going to play with it all the time, or something's going to happen and it's going to fall off the face of the earth and no one's going to want to play with it anymore. But yeah, I can imagine, people, when it comes out, people will be gung-ho to play it, and people will play it a lot. And if something happens in your local play group and it leads to bad experiences, you can just not play with it anymore. But I would expect, as new sets come out, more troubles will come out, and more troubles will come out to deal with, to interact with the troubles in new ways. So it will be interesting to see, and I'm sure Mr. Lobon will have this information after a year or so, how many tournaments used it, how many tournaments didn't use it, and what the usage was over time. That would be what I'll be looking for from the design side.
Yeah, because I'd be curious to see if, and I can understand making it optional to start with, but if it is successful, if this was something that would become like, OTF, like you can play without, and that's a different tournament, but if you want official sanctioned tournament, it's got to be with troubles or something like that.
I would imagine it would be something similar to how OTF and I guess the standard format in second edition is. You can have all of your local tournaments as traditional, right? No virtual cards. But Worlds and Continentals and Regionals are going to be, for the most part, with the trouble from after we get some time, I would imagine. So when you play in your games, you want to play with the same rules that the big tournaments are going to have, so that you get more practice with them, right?
Sure.
That would be how I would expect things to go. I mean, there's a reason that we don't play, all the weird formats. We play OTF because that's what the big tournaments are going to be, and that's what we want to have practice with, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's how it's going to go. I would foresee most people using them. I think I want to say we let the Lackey people know ahead of time that this was coming, so they could make some adjustments to how it works. I
Nice.
could be wrong in that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But they might be a little slow to pick that up because one of the players has to bring a treble pile and dump it out and then roll with it. But
Sure.
I don't think it'll be too terribly difficult. But no, I'm looking forward to it. My first real games with the real cards will be Wednesday. Well, maybe Tuesday, but probably Wednesday of Gen Con. So that should be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously the big news in this set is the troubles.
Yes.
Because it's 27 cards. It's 3 pages and 2 of the pages are troubles. However, there's some really interesting new powers here. Some of them are trouble related and some of them are not. But I'm looking at this one that says new, and it's actually after the tick as we're recording this because we're a little later than usual. And this card I'm looking at, I have to get a clarification on it. I think, it's no longer Tuesday. We should have recorded last night because I could have made that joke.
Yes, this is Fizbin.
It's only on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Fizbin, which is a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk in the suit, covered in tribbles. But this says this tribble cannot leave your play pile unless you go out. Does that mean when we have to shuffle your play pile into your deck between rounds, that this stays?
This will be the new staple for battle decks, don't you think?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So if you don't go out, everything else goes back into your deck, but all your 100,000 Fizbins stay right there.
Well, actually, I don't know if it would be, because then you would not have those in your deck to battle with.
True, but
I certainly would boost it. But it was certainly the deck types that are.
No, think about this.
I only
right?
have to go out once.
The first 3 rounds, you get a couple. Let's say you've got a standard deck, right, that has, I don't know, 10 100,000s, right? Is that a standard number? That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot even for you.
It's a lot for. It's not a lot for me. It's a lot for you.
Okay, that's a lot for me. So let's say I'm making a battle deck and I put in 10 100,000s, and the rest of my numbers are 9, 10, 9, and then taper off, as usual.
Sure.
My first 3 rounds, I get a couple of Fizbins out, and then my deck turns into a standard style deck with the right ratios, and I can go out easier because all my 100,000s are all in my pile, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
you may not score as much as a really big battle deck, but you might go out more often.
Exactly. And let's say you managed the first round and the second round, you get your Fizbins in your pile. The third round, your deck is not quite as unbalanced, and you can go out faster. The fourth round, you get more Fizbins in your pile, and the fifth round, maybe you go out again. You go out twice with a battle deck, you've got a good chance at $1 million already right there.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the theory anyway. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, and
I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out, as well as Dabo. I feel like that's going to be huge.
People have been clamoring for a wild card for quite a long time, and I think that is an interesting way of doing it.
It's very, very.
Yeah.
Plus, lots of people want to get that in their play pile.
Well, lots of people want to get it in the play pile and then leave it on top.
Yes, exactly.
All right, and I've had enough wine to know that I shouldn't say anything else.
Or you haven't had enough wine to say more.
Yeah, I think that I think a lot of these new cards are going to be fun. We've tried in the past to have sets that shake up the meta a little bit, and I don't know. We've got the whole troubles section here that is designed to do that a little bit. I don't know if there's anything specifically utilize and score, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, and not necessarily all of the troubles are inherently bad. They're just, I guess, a little balancing or let's speed this along. Like, obviously, you can't play replay. Okay, that's rough. But when you play a copy, you can copy go. That's awesome. That's not trouble. That's good.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of stuff in there that like they're cards that stop you from playing, not from playing, but from executing a power.
Right.
There aren't any of those that hurt cards that we don't think are a problem. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I like the Masaka. I actually like the Masaka one. Everybody keeps an extra card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's kind of cool.
And the dance one, I'm sure people are celebrating. go in and shift your pile around. Oh, man, that's going to be great.
Yeah, and in the everyone who does not go out this round scores 100,000. It's gonna be it's gonna be
Party.
funny. Yeah.
Beige. Yeah. Experience beige.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah, I would. You're gonna lose 50,000 points to make sure that's not there when you go out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've got last Gen Con, right? I had 10 demo decks to give away, and one of them ended up winning the world championship, right?
Yes, it did. Jerk.
So
Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah.
As somebody at the top table who had to lose to that.
Look, it was an IDIC deck. What do you want? It was just a bunch of random things. So I've got the same 10 decks printed out by my lovely wife. Thank you. And I'll be cutting these out and bringing them in another box and giving them away over the course. I'm also going to have 10 sets of this Tribbles Royale printed and inserted into these decks. So they'll be updated a little bit. Plus, we'll have 20 sets of Troubles to go around between the nice sets that Charlie gets printed out and the 10 sets that I'll have to add together. So all of the Tribbles tables will have Troubles all the way throughout, all the fun evening nights.
Awesome.
I believe we are not, the Continentals itself will not have a Trouble pile, but I'm going to say that if you don't make the final table, I think that you will have well in mind to raise your hand and say, I want Troubles, and I think we can probably play Troubles with that, because that'll be fine. And I think someone I haven't seen in a long time, so I'm going to say yo. All right. Anyway, I think it'll be a great time. We'll talk more about Gen Con next week. Anything else you want to add about the Tribbles that we've seen so far?
No, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since we had new Tribbles. We didn't necessarily need new Tribbles right away, which is why we've had this break, I think. But I'm definitely excited to play some of these.
Oh yeah, I guess part of me is disappointed these didn't come out in April, but I think the artwork that you've seen so far is really worth the wait. They look great.
Absolutely hilarious. That Neelix. Andrea did a great job. Sorry, Andrea. And including this one that we're looking at here, which is not on the website yet, which is another Trouble. This one is more in the traditional Trouble of, we're going to shut things down a little bit more, but I think some people will like it. Trouble in the Security Office, which I think is thematically appropriate. Odo going around and, putting the kibitz on people's shenanigans.
Let me turn on my screen share so that everyone can see this. I completely forgot that we had a spoiler. That's awesome. All right, check it out.
So Trouble in the Security Office, which cycles on miss on a 1, or somebody plays freeze, which is interesting combination, or you choose to draw 3 cards. And then the power is, when a player plays a freeze Tribble, he or she may name an additional Tribble power to be affected. So this is not going to stay up long.
And it will only take effect if it is in the process of going away, right?
Exactly. It's only going to be used as soon as somebody plays it, and as soon as somebody plays it and takes advantage of that power, it's going to go away.
Right.
But
freezing 2 things.
Double freeze.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, we've made jokes about it in the past. What can we do to really shift the meta or make it harder to play things? Well, you could have freeze and freeze. So here you go. You don't even have to have freeze and freeze. This Trouble pops up.
Yeah.
And
all the reason to put a few freezes in any deck, right? Just on the odd chance this comes up and you can host 2 different people at once.
I'll freeze clone
and rescue. I'll freeze poison and utilize.
Yeah, there you go. Poison and utilize. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I see the poison player drawing 3 cards immediately.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, would anybody draw 3 to pass this? But yeah.
Yep.
That's powerful.
All right, that's awesome. That is 115V for those of you keeping track on your card lists at home. And another great picture. Are those pink Tribbles on the left?
Those are pink Tribbles. Oh no, those are gray Tribbles.
You're right. Thanks. No, that's great. I like them. They that's kind of like cross contamination in the extreme.
Yeah.
All right, let me just stop sharing that and stop focusing on me. All right, very good. I think that's it. Do we have anything else
Yeah.
to chat about?
No, I don't think so. I'm a failure this week. I'm still
Yes.
recovering from Comic-Con, and I did not remember to watch my animated series episode. So all of those who are desperately waiting on the edge of your seat to hear our review of the next episode, I apologize.
Next week, in addition to our discussion about what we're looking forward to at Gen Con, we'll talk about
Yes.
the Infinite Vulcan.
That's right. I will go watch the
I did
Infinite
watch,
Vulcan.
and I'm going to have to watch it again because I want it fresh in my mind when we have a discussion. But
Wow.
yeah.
You're bold.
Hey, it'll be the first rewatch for me of all the animated shows, and I blame you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All
All right. Well,
Let's wrap
that's
this up
all
then.
that's all the intelligence we have this week then, but we will have Gen Con preview and animated series next week. In the meantime, I am Sir Rogue.
And I'm Sir Dan.
And I will remind you all to expand your troubles in the universe.
And I will breed tribbles to end.